People, Deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning back in each and every time to my YouTube channel. It means a lot, especially as I've hit 15,000 subscribers. Should do a video about it. Don't want people to think I've forgotten myself, but it's extremely appreciated, people. 15,000 people might not be a lot to anyone, but like I always say, imagine that many people in front of you. It's a madness, people. I mean, I wouldn't say it could fill up a stadium, but we could make all my subscribers could make a fairly decent presence in a football stadium you get at a lower league ground or something. So it's appreciated, whoever you are, wherever you are, however frequently you tune into my stuff, whenever you came across me, it's appreciated, people. But in relation to Arsenal, for me personally, I wouldn't say the dust is settled. I still have a lot of emotion to let off and steam to let off because I'm emotionally invested in my club, as you are, if you support Arsenal or whatever team. But it is what it is in terms of how our form has been, I want to say, in recent weeks, because our season didn't start off great, but we were, I'd like to think at the start of the season we was doing a bit better than we are now. So it is, for me, I'm at the point now, it is what it is. Obviously, time is a good healer, but we'll be back to this situation again after the break. But it is what it is in terms of the emotions and whatnot. We know we've been doing poor. We know, for me anyways, it's unlikely we're going to get top four, and to concede top four in November really is unacceptable, really and truly. And come the end of the season, if reports are to be believed, people, in relation to managers are being held on to, then there's got to be some serious question marks asked of the board, because myself included, we was praising Don Raul and still are to high heavens and about what he was doing in the club and things, as was Edu for Martinelli and everybody else connected. So we've got to keep the same energy. The longer this ill form continues, sort of thing, is what I'm getting at. But it is what it is. I'm at the stage where I don't believe the team can get top four. Do I believe we have the perfect squad? Of course not. Do I believe that squad is good enough to put more of a fight in terms of claiming a top four fight, being up there with Leicester and Chelsea, two great examples of teams doing well? Mathematically, obviously, with City dropping points against Liverpool, we all know City are going to end up either first or second, but right now, mathematically, Chelsea and Leicester, are on City's necks right now. I believe we can do that. Again, we're going to miss out on top four, not because of other teams being more better than us, but shooting ourselves in the foot. We've come against keyword teams. If we was to stick a couple of Arsenal individuals, of course there's not many teams in the league they'll get to, but in terms of team, work ethic, working for each other, stability, some sort of tactical plan, there's a lot of teams in the league better than us, and they're not necessarily the bigger clubs, people, because again, we will come ahead of Sheffield United and teams like that, but they clearly understand their tactics better than us, people, and they're actually unbeaten from home. But on current form, Sheffield might come ahead of us if we continue this. But it's said and done. I don't believe we're going to get top four. For me, and I'm sure I speak for a couple of other subscribers and followers of Arsenal in general when I say we'll always support our team, but the players have got to show us something to get behind. We love the club and whatnot, but they've got to give us something to believe we can get top four. Because Arsenal fans take things far. Arsenal fans were speaking like a shoe on and getting top four. Arsenal fans have supported this team. Obviously, there's been toxic incidences with captains of the club and whatnot, people, but generally we've been gassing up the thing in relation to the top four, and you can only defend players for so long. I'm not talking about bashing players, I'm talking about players showing the fans that we can get behind top four. Because for me, like you've got the theme of my videos, I don't want to scrap the season. I want us to put in a consistent run of form. You never know what could happen. Mathematically, there's still something to play for. But in my brain, I'm at the point now where if Emery was to leave, we get someone short-term to kind of do this thing. Or I hope chairmans are having conversations and stuff with coaches, people out there that can actually coach a system. Whether that's Longberg to the end of the season and you give yourself time to make the right appointments, a different thing. Give the young players experience and just probably focus on Europa now, and even that's a techie one, because we put all our eggs in Europa League and lost 4-1 in the final, people. So it's a madness as an Arsenal fan. And I don't want that to be the case. I want the players to prove me wrong, and a couple of you out there. I don't think there's many Arsenal fans right now that believe genuinely we can get top four if we cut the crap and we're honest. It's down to them. If you look at our my maths is poor, but I believe I've got the next 11 games in front of me, excluding Standard Liège, which has been printed off as well, people. We've got Norwich away, people, when we come back from the international break. Games are not won on paper. Arsenal's form, anyone could probably beat us, and that's the realness of it, and it hurts to say that. But Brighton and Norwich in our first two games after the international break, on paper, are winnable games. There's no games that are winnable in football, and I don't want to disrespect Brighton or Norwich, because Norwich in recent seasons have claimed points of us. Norwich beat City at home, people, and they've made other teams work for 3 points there. Chelsea won 4-2, forgive me if I'm wrong, but it weren't easy riding, so Norwich is going to be difficult. This ain't a thing where Ramsey can save us. Remember a couple of years ago, Ramsey was scoring goals at them grounds there. So I want to see a reaction. Again, I want to see a reaction, people. But that will say something. Now, you'd think, if you can even say that now, you'd like to think Arsenal's home form or how we play at home is dramatically better than how we are away from home. But you can't take Brighton lightly, and with our form, you don't know what's going to happen. We could score 3 goals come the 80th minute. We concede the third goal for Brighton to equalise, and them sort of madness is there as an Arsenal fan. So it's down to the players now. The players, like Azet said, they need their confidence back. But at the end of the day, they got to pull their pants up. They can't feel sorry for themselves. They've got to ignore the noise. Like, as much as I'm talking about, they've got to show the fans. Them man there, the 26-man squad, they've got to be together now and show a reaction. The ones that have not gone off to the international break, you got to be working extra hard in training. Emery, you got to be, I know he was doing a coaching conference, but you got to be doing something in the training ground. You got to be putting in them extra works now, people, because it's not looking like, again, I don't want to tarnish us with a brush, because clearly there is man putting in extra sessions, but I don't really see a squad that's galvanised, that understands a job at task, that understands the ramifications of winning, losing and drawing week to week, that sees a goal, has an aspiration in August and sees it through until May. Do you get it, people? Or if we fall short, for me, people, what could you say? If we improved and we gave it our best shot and we don't get top 4 in May, then we'd have no choice to go again. But too often than not, specifically like last season and probably going to be this season, sadly now, we're going to look back at the season, not because teams were better than us, but where we went wrong in big games, how our away form was there, blipping in recent weeks and whatnot. November is typically a bad month as an Arsenal fan, and it's a stress right now. So these players got to believe in themselves, people. You've got Norwich and Brighton, you've got West Ham away where we lost last season, and that's something these players got to be saying to themselves. Did these players genuinely have in their canteen, or for want of better phrases, staff room, their recent games, and are they having meetings internally with just the players? Forget Emery for a second. Are these players saying to themselves, yo, listen, you need to do this. I don't know about you, look, I want to be winners. I do think these players want to win, but there's a difference between wanting to win and really wanting to win. You can see it genuinely keeps Klopp and Liverpool up at night losing games, if you can say that about Liverpool, or not doing what they need to do. You can say that about City. Can't say that about Arsenal, because when we've watched us, we've lost games or walked away with not what we've wanted. And we've known in our heart it's not necessarily been teams being better than us, or they have been. We've just been poor, and it's all about how we've started games and how we've managed games and whatnot. It's not going to come overnight. I do believe in that saying, it gets worse before it gets better, or whatever it genuinely is, people. But they've got to be looking at it now, because they're in the crucial period. Again, the tide can change if they go on a winning run. Sentiment can change. Calls for Emery out might die down and these sort of things. But they've got to do that. I always tell you lot, it's about getting out of this November, early January period in with a shout in the Premier League. You know that. I know that. If you even believe journalist reports, they know that, because apparently that's what Emery's future is hanging on if he's not going to keep the role to the end of the season. So it's a bit of conflicting reports in a sense, people. But you've got that, West Ham away. And then you got the big one on the 15th of December against Manchester City. Now, if we're real, that's a free hit. We'll probably concede 3 points. For me, we go into that game. Listen, City are a good team. We're going to get smoked, but we don't respect them to the point where we respect them as individuals, and I'm not talking about foul play, but we don't go out there and like, oh, it's City, man, like resigned to losing. We go out there, put in a respectable performance, if you can say that, against Manchester City and Arsenal's defence. God help us, please. You've got to go into that. And sandwiched in between West Ham and City, you've got Standard Liège in the Europa. Obviously, players will be rested and things like that. But it's still, games are coming thick and fast. The 26-man squad got to relish these sort of things now. You've got Everton away. Again, Everton have been inconsistent this season, but you never know what that's going to throw up. Knowing Arsenal's luck, it would be a woe-be to come and score the winner in like the 88th minute or something. You know it's a typical Arsenal fan. The next player comes to strike, and he'll probably be G'd up for the game. I hope it's not the case. Or probably Mr. Theo Walcott. Then you've got, next after that, you've got Bournemouth away. Now, Bournemouth, like, it's never, for Arsenal fans, we've won there, and I am confident against Bournemouth, but they're a very good side, and they beat United, and it's never, you never walk away from Bournemouth with 3 points as an easy ride. So boy, if I can even be confident, you've got them. Can't feel sorry for ourselves because again, that's you've got what in this 4-game period, people moving on to Chelsea. We've got 2 away games, and either side of them away games, you've got Chelsea at home and City. You can't feel sorry for them yourselves, people. We know City's tough. The 2 away games, Arsenal away, madness, people. Arsenal and Chelsea, boy, you'd like to think from a neutral perspective that could be filled of goals, and you'd think Chelsea's defence isn't as bad as ours, but the one criticism you can have is their lack of clean sheets. Can we go and get a result there? Because this is what you need to do, people. You need to go into you need to see these games thick and fast and walk out of these periods. And are these players sitting after training or where Emery's not there and doing it? Because do you think if Klopp wasn't in the room, Liverpool's players would need to be told what they need to do if any games? He's the army general and he's just the reassuring voice and the guy to, the kingpin and whatnot. I need to, as much as I think Emery is to blame this season, I've got to look at these individuals because we've got some decent players. The tactics and all these things, a lot of these players are not banging because of Emery, but at the end of the day, they're the ones out there, people. Then after Chelsea, to make matters worse, you got United at home. Now, we beat them at home last season, forgive me if I'm wrong, but you know it is, man. We need to get bragging rights in that. I've got a lot of fans and family that support Man United, and I can't lie, I'm not trying to lose against them, man, dear. Palace away after that. People, do I need to spell out Palace away to Arsenal? Really and truly. Even Palace at home these last couple of seasons. Do I really need to tell you about Palace away? You know yourself. After that, you've got Sheffield United at home. Now, hopefully, we can get revenge on them, but you can't take them lightly. And then after that, we're playing at Stamford Bridge. Now, when was the last time we won there in the league? Are these players putting these things on a billboard? Chelsea away. That period, City, we need to put in a respectable performance. And next couple bullet points, them away games. Are these players necessarily doing that? And Emery's not alone in his failures. I tell you, lot, we move forward as a club, people. We need to sing, the players and Emery need to sing from the same hymn sheet. Go back to basics. Not forget about the past results, but you know what it is. We can't dwell on the past. And focus on trying to put a run of form together, because the fans can't save you from nothing. Like, this is a harsh run of fixtures, but it is what it is. You've got to get through that with some respectable points. Now, whether Arsenal are going to do that, as you know yourself, people, is a different case. But I hope to God, because if I'm here myself, people, because when the dust is settled, are these players not like how I am, got it printed off? Are they not looking at that themselves, people, and thinking, boy, I don't want to get disrespected. I want to get top 4. For me, top 4 is a myth, but they've got to come out of this with some points anyways. But it is what it is, man. I've got nothing more to say. I'm going to check the international fixtures now. So on that note, people, it's been a pleasure. Deluded. Thank you for watching and rocking with all my stuff and supporting me in all my ventures and things like that. It's appreciated. Please comment if you've got any opinions. Continue to like, continue to subscribe, continue to share up the thing. And like I said, your support, everybody's appreciative as I keep growing and growing. But see you people in a minute, man. I'm out.